Right now, you are sitting in a custom-built digital cage. Every time you unlock your phone, scroll through an app, or purchase a product online, you believe you are exercising free will. You chose that flight. You selected that subscription. You clicked that button. Except you didn't. Behind the glass of your screen sits a highly optimized trillion-dollar psychological engine designed by software teams whose sole job is to override your rational mind. If you ignore this reality, you will continue to lose hundreds of dollars to hidden subscription bills, unknowingly surrender your most intimate personal data, and forfeit your basic consumer autonomy to algorithms that can predict your emotional vulnerabilities better than you can. Here is the early payoff you need to know. This manipulation works because it exploits the hardwired biology of your brain. Under dual-process cognitive theory, human decision-making operates on two tracks. System 1 is your fast, automatic, subconscious autopilot. It navigates on muscle memory, visual patterns, and pre-selected defaults. System 2 is your slow, logical, analytical brain, the one that actually reads terms of service and calculates the real cost of a purchase. Software designers do not want you using System 2. They construct digital environments to systematically exhaust your analytical brain, forcing you to cede your choices to the easy, automatic defaults of System 1. In economics, this deliberate abuse of human cognitive biases is called sludging. It turns your cognitive shortcuts into corporate profit. Just how powerful is this? In a landmark legal study, researchers exposed the raw numbers behind these traps. In a transparent, neutral interface, only 11.3% of users signed up for a paid service. But when designers deployed subtle, mild design tricks, that sign-up rate more than doubled to 25.8%. When they used aggressive tricks, sign-up rates nearly quadrupled to 41.9%. And here is the most terrifying part. Under the influence of these design tricks, raising the price of the service from $3 to $9 had zero statistical impact on the sign-up rate. The interface completely blinded the consumer's price sensitivity. So how does this trap snap shut on your daily life? It starts with the digital equivalent of a physical prison. We will look at how Amazon used this to build a subscription empire in just a moment. But first, notice what happens when you try to close a simple account. This is the Roach Motel. The gold standard of ethical software design is symmetry of choice. If an action takes a single click to perform, it must legally take a single click to reverse. The Roach Motel completely inverts this rule. It makes entering a subscription effortless, but complicates leaving it through tedious, labyrinthine navigation and click fatigue. Take Stamps.com. If you want to sign up, you can do it online in under 60 seconds. But if you want to cancel, the online portal suddenly vanishes. You are forced to navigate a hidden maze in their frequently asked questions, only to discover that your only escape route is calling a physical telephone support line during restricted business hours, where you will be subjected to high-pressure retention scripts. But the absolute king of the Roach Motel is Amazon Prime. In 2023, the Federal Trade Commission dragged Amazon into federal court, exposing their secret internal design mechanics. While enrolling in Prime took a single click, canceling that subscription meant entering what Amazon employees internally and officially nicknamed the Iliad Flow. It was named after Homer's grueling, epic war poem because designers intentionally engineered it to be a slow, exhausting war of attrition. To escape the Iliad Flow, you had to survive a 4-page, 6-click, 15-option gauntlet. The screens flooded you with warnings, used anxiety-inducing red fonts and warning icons to trigger loss aversion. and repeatedly presented prominent keep my membership and remind me later options while burying the actual cancellation button in tiny discolored links. Internal emails revealed that Amazon executives explicitly knew these designs were tricking millions into recurring charges. Yet, when design teams proposed transparent changes under Project Lucent, leadership pulled the plug. Why? Because being clear and honest made subscription numbers drop. They chose corporate subscriber growth over basic customer honesty. But if trapping you in a maze doesn't work, software designers have a second line of defense. They go after your self-esteem. Before we examine how this emotional steering alters your brain chemistry, let's look at how retail websites use this same logic to guilt you into paying for services you don't need. This is confirmshaming. It is a manipulative strategy that uses emotional language to make you feel bad, stupid, or irresponsible for declining a company's offer. When a retail pop-up offers a discount, you aren't allowed to just click a neutral no button. Instead, you are forced to click a button that says, "No thanks, I like paying full price," or "No thanks, I hate saving money." It gets worse. Travel booking sites use this to sell highly marked up insurance. When you decline, the screen doesn't just let you proceed. It forces you to click a checkbox labeled "I choose to stay unsecured," accompanied by warning icons designed to trigger anxiety and loss aversion. The European Data Protection Board classifies this under the strategy of stirring, actively manipulating your emotional state to lead you to act against your own financial and privacy interests. By transforming a simple commercial decision into an emotional test, designers induce anticipated regret. Your brain seeks to avoid the negative feeling of being labeled unwise or unsecured, so it takes the path of least emotional resistance. It clicks the bright, emotionally comforting accept button. But emotional tricks only work if you actually notice the choices. We will explore how countdown clocks exploit your decision window in just a moment. But first, look at how easily your eyes can be deceived. This is the perception trap, powered by interface interference. Designers understand that our eyes naturally track high-contrast colors, large buttons, and prominent placements. So they manipulate the visual hierarchy of the page to hide your choices in plain sight. Think about cookie banners. When a privacy pop-up appears, websites utilize asymmetric visual weight. The Accept All button is painted in a high-contrast, vibrant, glowing green box, while the Reject All button is styled in a desaturated, borderless, faint gray font that mimics a disabled, unclickable button. Sometimes the Reject button doesn't exist on the first screen at all. Under a tactic known as a privacy maze, accepting takes one click, but rejecting requires you to click Manage Preferences, scroll through a massive list of dozens of third-party ad tech vendors, and manually uncheck 50 separate boxes. French regulators fined Google 150 million euros for this exact visual manipulation, ruling that making rejection harder than acceptance is a direct violation of consumer privacy law. But the most expensive visual trap in digital history was engineered by Epic Games in Fortnite. In 2022, the FTC hit Epic Games with a record-setting $245 million judgment for deceptive UX designs. What did they do? Epic Games designed an interface that mapped purchase functions to inconsistent single-press button configurations with absolutely zero confirmation screens. When players, frequently children, tried to simply preview a cosmetic item, wake up their controller, or skip a loading screen, the game registered a single tap as an instant, non-refundable purchase of in-game items. They weaponized the physical muscle memory of fast System 1 tapping to extract hundreds of millions of dollars from unsuspecting families. But what if you are highly vigilant and look past visual tricks? Then, designers use the ultimate psychological accelerator. They make you run out of time. Before we wrap up with your actionable defensive playbook, notice how these fake urgency numbers are actually created. This is the scarcity trap, and it exploits one of our deepest evolutionary fears, missing out on a resource. By displaying countdown timers and bold red text warning that only one item is left or 28 other people are looking at this right now, platforms accelerate your decision-making window. They trigger a state of cognitive panic, completely short-circuiting your System 2 reflective processing. But here is the dirty secret. The urgency is almost always entirely fabricated. When online consignment stores display live notification pop-ups saying, "Alexandra from Anaheim just purchased this item," Alexandra does not exist. Large-scale web crawls by Princeton researchers revealed that thousands of shopping sites use turnkey third-party plugins like Beaconing to dynamically fabricate these alerts out of a static, randomized array of fictional names and locations. Similarly, countdown timers are frequently completely fake. If you let the clock hit 0, the discount remains completely active, or the timer quietly resets the split second you refresh the page. These are ghost clocks, digital theater designed to induce panic and force a suboptimal, impulsive purchase. So, how do we fight back against a digital ecosystem engineered to exploit our psychology? The good news is that the legal and technological tides are finally turning. Under the California Privacy Rights Act's symmetry of choice rules and the FTC's new click-to-cancel regulations, digital interfaces are legally required to make saying no just as easy, prominent, and fast as saying yes. If a subscription takes one click to join, it must legally take one click to cancel, without forced telephone calls or multi-screen gauntlets. But while regulators fight in court, you must protect yourself on the front lines. Your absolute best shield is cognitive friction. The next time you feel a sudden, intense rush of digital urgency, see a pre-ticked box, or read a button that tries to make you feel guilty, pause. That immediate emotional response is a red flag. It means you have entered a choice architecture designed to bypass your rational mind. Take a deep breath. Activate your System 2 brain. Look for the hidden catches. Check your cart subtotal before tapping pay. Disable push notifications to kill nagging alerts. And remember, if a platform is forcing you to jump through hoops to exercise your rights, they aren't helping you navigate. They are secretly controlling your choices. Because in the digital economy, the ultimate luxury isn't convenience, it's autonomy. Deceptive software is designed to keep you in the dark, but you don't have to navigate this digital labyrinth alone. By understanding these psychological traps, you take back your power and protect your digital autonomy. If you want to stay ahead of the trickery and learn how to navigate the modern internet on your own terms, join our community here at the Reality Group. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and give this video a like so we can expose these hidden choice architectures to more people. Let's reclaim our choices together.